Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Clancy, the Client Success Manager here at Educational Networks. Today, I'd like to invite you to join me as we take a look at some highlights from our workshop, our new page editor. Let's start by taking a look at our all new CMS. Before we do that, though, we need to log in. Here's how we log in with CMS 3. If you're using a PC, you want to double click the control key on your keyboard. Whereas if you're using a Mac, you want to double click the command key. So I go in and I double click the command key, and I'm going to see the login window appear right in the middle of the screen. So I go in and I log in. And as soon as I log in, I'm going to notice this toolbar right at the bottom of the screen. Let's take a closer look at that. If I look over to the right, I'm going to notice my profile photo. And when I click on this, this gives me information about my account. I can see here that I'm a website administrator, but I can also go in, and if I need to, I can edit information on my account. As an example, if I find I need to perhaps maybe go in and change my password, I can do that. And I can update other information such as my email address by going in and clicking update. Right next to that, you're going to see this grid icon. Now, this grid icon, this serves a very important purpose. This is where you're going to find important parts of your website, such as the help desk and also settings. Remember, if you want to link your admin site to social media, this is where you want to go to do that. Looking over to the left, you're going to notice that we have this button right here. This, of course, is affectionately known as a hamburger button. Now, this is where you get to access the main parts of your website to be able to go in and to edit. A key difference you'll notice, though, is that we have a lot of different areas and categories now. So as an example, if we're looking to edit a home page feature, maybe news and announcements, we'll go over to information. Now, as a matter of fact, most of your home page is going to be between information and photos and multimedia. So if I go in and I look at the home page for Green Tech, I'm going to see news and announcements, calendars. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have our video gallery, photo album, bulletin board, links. Scrolling up a little bit further, we also have our spotlight feature, and we're also going to have our rotating images and then our marquee. So going back to the hamburger button, what we'll see, we go to information, we see news, calendars, bulletin boards, links, marquee, photos and multimedia. What we'll see here is we have photo album, video gallery, and the rotating images. But the great thing is about your website is that it offers other features that truly make it more than a website. Going ahead and looking a little bit further, if we go towards operations, you'll see where you can go in and, for example, create an online web form. This is nice because it does something I think that all of us want to do, which is to be able to cut back on paperwork. The great thing is you can start on a form, we'll say maybe a sports team sign-up sheet. You can start on it, and depending on the length of the form, it can be ready to go within about 10 to 15 minutes or so. And students and parents, of course, are able to fill it out right on the site itself. Scrolling down just a little bit further, we have a very important part of your site, which is pages and sections. So this, of course, is one way that you can go in and access your pages to edit, maybe perhaps a supply list page, or, for example, maybe something such as your school's mission statement. As we're going to see here in just a minute, though, there is an all-new way that you can go in and access and edit your pages. Right underneath that, we'll see one of the most important parts of the admin site, which is where we can go in and edit and create user profiles. Finally, we see where we can edit our navigation menu, and also, if we're using our stores module, where we can go in and connect our merchant accounts. You can also accept payments through the forms module too. Now that we've had a chance to take a grand circle tour of our admin site, let's see how we can go in and edit a page. Today, we're going to create an all-new page for Green Tech High School's athletic department. My first step to getting started with that is to click on the hamburger button and head over to Sections. Now, notice that I have all of these different categories, and it's important to note that for the most part, they all do the same thing. So I got to decide which one I want to add this to, and I'm going to say that I want to add this to Extra Sections. What I then do is go in and click Add Section, and I type in the name of our new page. So I'll type in Green Tech Athletics. Perfect. What I then do is I click Save, and I find this a little easier to go back over to the hamburger button, go to Sections, Extra Sections, and from here to click on the page of our new department. I start by going in and clicking Add Page, and when I do that, I see all of these wonderful options that I have available to me. I can add a calendar, a photo album, but in this case, I want to create a page that's going to look something like this right over here. So for that, what I do is I am going to keep it on Other, and I type in the name of the page. So in this case, Home. And I click Create Page. And when I do that, it brings me right into our new page editor. Now from here, I'll notice that I'll have a text box, I'll have a content block already added in for me. And anytime you create a page like this, this is something that you're going to see. I'll notice that when I go in and I right click inside of the content block, I'll have options that say Insert Above or Insert Below. So as an example, if I select Insert Below, I'm going to see that I have all of these wonderful formatting options, including the ability to add photos and tables available to me. In this case, let's start with this content block. I'm going to start by adding in my introductory paragraph. I'm going to copy this. I go back over to the page editor, and from here, what I want to do is I want to click Command V. Perfect. As soon as I've gone in and I've added that first little bit of content, I'll notice too that I can highlight over this, and I'll see that I'll have many more formatting options available to me. And these can include changing the type of text I want to add on. As an example, if I wanted to add in something that says welcome, I could definitely do that and make it bigger. So I go in, I type in welcome. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And I'm going to make that as heading 1. Perfect. So we've gone in and we've added our first little bit of content. Let's go in and add on our second. To do that, what I do is I right click inside of the content block, and I'm going to select Insert Below. In this case, I want to go in and add a photo. So to do that, I just click on this content block. Perfect. We've added on the photo content block. Now what we need to do is we need to go in and add on the photo itself. For this, I navigate over to where I have the photo stored. And from here, what I'll go ahead and do is I'll find the photo I want to add on, and all I do is this. I click it, and I drag it into the content block. Pretty easy, huh? Cool. Now, once I've done that, I can absolutely make adjustments for this image here. So maybe if I want to have it centered more on the basketball, I can. Perfect. And also, if I want to, and in this case, I think it'd be a good idea to do, I can go in and I can adjust the spacing between the two content blocks. I'm going to bring it down to 15 pixels. Something else that I can do to make it so that this photo is more accessible is I can add alternative text. So to do that, what I do is I right click inside of the photo and I select accessibility. I then go in and select alternative text. And when you're adding alternative text, it's really best to be as descriptive as possible about the image that you're going in and adding on. So in this case, I'll type something in such as Are students playing basketball in the gym? Perfect. I then go in and click apply. And once we've done that, we've successfully added on our alternative text. Let's go in and add on another content block. Let's add one where we can add a file too. So for this, you know what? I'll add a photo with it too. I'll right click inside of the content block, and just as with before, I select insert below. I find the content block I want to add. We'll add this one right here. And I click on it. Let's go in and start with a photo. Let's say that we want to add this photo of our football team. I go over to where I have that stored. And from here, what I'll do is I'll locate the image, and I just got to click, drag, and drop just as with before. Once I've done that, I can absolutely go in and make any adjustments I'd like. So in this case, same thing as with before, I want to adjust the spacing. To keep it even, I'm going to also bring it down by about 15 pixels. Perfect. Now we're ready to go in and to add on our text. To do this here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight over the text I want to copy. I copy this, and then to paste this into the text field, I click Command V. Perfect. Once I've done that, I can go in and I can adjust the formatting. And I'll notice here that it says, click here to review the Green Tech High student athlete contract. We can make this better. It's better for accessibility purposes for it to say instead, view the Green Tech High School or Green Tech High student athlete contract. So I go in and I fix this here. Perfect. We're almost finished, but we need to go in and add the document for this. To do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to highlight over this. And this is really cool. I click the link button, and then from here I switch this to document. And what I can do from here is I go over to where that document's stored. Check this out. I find the document, I click on it, and I drag and drop it into this box here. Perfect. And we can see that we've successfully added that file on. Let's go ahead and test it out. Now wait a minute. If I click on this here, I'll notice that the link's not working. That's okay. The reason is we are still in edit mode. So to change that, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to click on the feather icon. Now I can go in and click on the link, and I'm able to successfully view that file. Now we're almost finished, but not quite yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at our page. But you know what? We have a tool here that's very useful for that. You have this little button here that looks like an emoji. You go in, you click on this, and this provides recommendations for your page. So I'll see here that it's suggesting that we enter in alt text for this image. Definitely something we can do. But you know what? We have another option for this too. We can also add a caption here that can also serve as the alternative text. Now notice when I tried doing that it wasn't working. That's because I forgot to switch it back to edit mode. So to do that, I click on the feather again. Now I'll notice if I right click in the photo, I can select add caption, and I enter it in. I'll type in our football team at the championship. Perfect. Now, if I want that caption to serve as alternative text, what I can then do is I go in and I right-click on the photo again, select accessibility, and I'll see that I have the option to use the caption as alternative text. And all I got to do is click apply. Now let's go in and look over our page again. Let's click on the emoji button again. And we can see that our page looks good. There's no further recommendations for it.